50 years ago, in the heart of the civil rights movement, and at the peak of racial tension throughout the country, Boston decided to take a stand. A stand against racism, a stand against injustice, a stand against segregation. In 1965, Massachusetts passed the Racial Imbalance Act, which mandated that school districts throughout the city would lose state funding for their schools if they did not move to end segregation in their school districts. This law, being the first of its kind, was met with a great deal of opposition, especially amongst the working class communities of the white and ethnic neighborhoods of South Boston and Charlestown.
On those bus trips, actually, one of my aunts had a knife pulled on her and had a cut on her chest that she had a scar her entire life.
Tension in Southie reached its peak in the early 90s, where hundreds of students were walking out of schools, engaging in fights, and organizing riots. Amidst the spike in race-related violence, school-wide fights were breaking out, many were hospitalized, and schools were forced to close.
My parents didn't want me to attend Southie High. They shipped me out to the suburbs.
However, nowadays, as you walk down East Broadway streets, it's very clear that the times have changed. Brian Hurley and his family have spent their entire lives growing up in Southie, and Brian himself has seen the first-hand decrease in racial tension over the years. Yejide Naji-Ula, a history teacher at the Excel Academy in Southie, has also noticed the animosity between the races dying down.
And it's very interesting to see that 90% of them have never heard of it, never knew anything happened, and are completely unaware of how Boston busing became an issue or became something that, predominated their life.
Excel Academy, formerly known as South Boston High School or Southie High, is now one of the most diverse high schools in the area. Najee stresses that though the racial tension still exists, it is but a mere shadow of what we have seen in decades past. For JR 595, I'm Eli Kell-Abrams.